Here we are.
Here we are. You're a traveling man.
I am a traveling man. How are you doing this morning?
I like the hotel background. It looks good.
How about the mood lighting of like?
It's fantastic. Yeah. It's better than the typical hotel live streaming camera look. I like it. You did good.
It's one of these like dome lights. I'll figure out a way to send a picture, but like I've got it tilted just a little bit, like just slightly over my head. Maybe.
Yeah, most hotel shots are crap. Yours isn't too bad.
There we go. Sometimes it's the talent.
Sometimes you just exude light. You light up a room when you walk in, Mike. I've always wanted to tell you that.
Only sometimes. Given hotel challenges, let's no warm up today. Let's just jump right into the news, unless you've got something exciting to share.
Nah, I got nothing exciting. Do I look exciting? I'm not exciting, but the news is exciting. Good morning, practitioners. It's February 12th, 2026. I'm Brent. That's Mike. If you're still using a static PowerPoint to train your staff, I have news for you. We have news for you. Even the bees are moving faster than you today. Let's dive into the headlines. Our top story today is a massive move in the physical world. Apptronic just secured a $520 million extension, bringing their total Series A to nearly $1 billion to scale Apollo, their humanoid robot. Now you're thinking, what does a humanoid robot have to do with my leadership workshop? Well, colleagues, think of the onboarding possibilities. Finally, a new hire that doesn't complain about the lukewarm coffee or asking where the bathroom is because it doesn't have a bladder.
There you go.
In all seriousness.
Back in the day, that would have been going for a smoke break.
Now today, everybody's smoking left-handed cigarettes. In all seriousness, as AI moves from chatbots to mechanical bodies, L&D is about to face the ultimate challenge, training humans to manage work alongside and, let's be honest, not be intimidated by a 6-foot-tall hunk of metal that never forgets its compliance training.
See, the bot was listening. It was like, Mike, I heard you talk about making sure that the bots were being trained properly and certified as being in compliance. And today, I'm going to throw a compliance joke in. You don't have to worry. Don't worry your pretty little head.
Gemini knows how to keep you happy. He's like, he knows he's manipulating us. He throw a little bit of fear in there and then throw a little bit of positivity, a little bit of fear, a little positivity. Boom, boom, boom.
It's called unscheduled positive reinforcement.
Aha. Yes. And who was the guy that hypothesized that?
I don't know. Who was the guy?
I believe it was Skinner.
Oh, on the from a conditioning perspective, was it Skinner or
whoever basically came up with the psychology behind Vegas and gambling and slot machines. I thought it was Skinner, but maybe not.
I'm looking.
I could be wrong. I'm sure if somebody was in the chat, they would be totally correcting me right now. Good morning, Craig. Good morning, Wendy. Try to keep us honest, you two, okay? I don't have the Slack open, though.
And I'm working off of one screen.
What?
And I'm working off of one screen.
Ooh, yeah, that's trouble. Ooh, my camera started getting a little jerky, but that was just because Slack was open. Okay.
You are correct, Skinner.
Man, my brain still kind of works a little bit. That's awesome. Super psyched. Anyways, any more about that story? No. That it's a good one to kick it off. It's a nice that was a nice palate cleanser for the news this morning. It's in the tech funding news, if anybody's wondering about the source for that. Next up, the authoring tool wars are heating up. Were you curious about that, Mike? The authoring tool wars, the tools that we use to build learning are battling each other. There is a war, in case you were wondering.
This is kind of cool. About once you kind of do it like an Articulate and Boston Dynamics mashup, we could actually have a war.
You're going to have to clarify that for me.
Boston Dynamics robots, Articulate authoring tool, put them together.
I wasn't thinking Boston. Like if you'd have thrown in like Raytheon or some of these other big military contractors, I think I maybe could have played along. But you stumped me with Boston Dynamics. Articulate 360 just dropped a massive January update. I feel like we've heard this before. Deja vu, anyone? You can now use an AI assistant to generate, get this, JavaScript entrance animations. JavaScript entrance animations without writing a single line of code. Just tell it what you want the button to do, and boom, it does it. It also generates captions, translates text to speech, and builds quizzes. Basically, Articulate is trying to make it so the only thing you have to do is show up to the meeting and pretend you worked on it for 3 days. The barrier to entry for high-end interactivity is disappearing. It's just disappearing. This shifts the ID role from technical builder to experience architect. Hey, there's that word again, Mike. If the tool can build the interaction, you better make sure the content is actually worth interacting with. I believe we talked about that too. Content debt is what we're creating out there. So that's actually part of the Articulate What's New 2026 article that I believe has popped up in the past. Any Articulate users out there? Wendy, Craig? Are you guys happening users? It's fun to see Toddy in the Slack.
It is good to see Toddy in the Slack.
Yeah, I did see the Matt Schumer stuff yesterday. Have you seen the responses this morning yet?
No, but I did while I was flying yesterday. I did a response. Actually, I took I highlighted different components to it, added my notes to it, and sent it to my family. So I sent it to a couple people in family. So both the kids, Jen, and my brother Chris. My brother Chris's response was, "What's with all the serial killer notes?" Like, because my handwriting peaked in second grade. I've got different colors that I'm using for different things. He's like, but yeah.
Oh, you were highlighting and adding your own personal perspective to it?
Yeah. Just more to kind of draw attention to different parts of it. Because I think it's interesting. I think one of the I'm going to do my own response to it that I've got drafted up. It's not near where I want to push it out there yet, but I organize it around a lot of the other stuff that we talk about from a leadership perspective and learning perspective and opportunity side of things.
So one of the best responses I've seen so far is from Tara Lynn Thompson.
Okay. I think I'm looking for that one
on X. I don't know what her handle is at Tara Lynn Says.
Okay. TARA
TARALYNNSAYS. It's really good. It's really good.
Cool. Drop it in the Slack.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So So after you read it, what'd you think of the piece, just in general?
Well, so I fell for it too, just like everybody else, and
fell for what part? Like
I just kind of got freaked out by it, But
what?
I don't know, or just immediately agreed. And Phil Ford, I guess, is kind of implies that what he wrote was bullshit, and it's not. But there is the way Tara describes it, I think, is really good. It's what I've been saying for like the last year. What I've been trying to say to people and trying to write about is we've been here before. This happens all the time. This cycles through, and fear and losing something is a much stronger psychological pull for people than gaining something new.
Yep.
And it's just that there's been research over and over and over again. The sociologists, the psychologists, as they've proven the fact that's why politicians, that's why our world is so fucked right now, and our U.S. is so divided, is that fear is the most powerful. The fear of losing something is 1,000 times more powerful than the possibility of thinking creatively of what could come next because of it.
Yeah.
It's scary. So I fell into the trap without reminding myself we've been here before. That's what I mean by that. And so I had to pull myself back. And so when I read Tara, her response to it just reminded me of that fact. But she also added some very cool anecdotes, some stories throughout history that I wasn't aware of. Do you know where the term Luddite came from?
Mm-mm. I don't even know that I'm familiar with Luddite. What is Luddite?
Well, people use it like when you call somebody a Luddite, they're like, oh, at least the way it's been used around me, the way I've heard it being used is, overeducated, sort of, I know, the know-it-all, right? I'm, the Luddites, we just, we're better than everybody else kind of thing. The term Luddite has been applied to that person. It's not really what it means, though. It apparently came, and maybe the story she got was fake, or it was generated by AI, and she fell for it too. So I will give it that bit of skepticism, but I don't want to tell the whole story. Just read about it. It's really good. But basically, her point is there is what's seen, and what we're seeing is AI taking over everything. And we can see that 40% of white collar workers are going to lose their jobs. What's unseen is what comes next. And something always comes next. Possibility always comes next.
So here's a perspective just from a control standpoint. Like if you're out there and you're kind of listening to this, or you've read the article, or you're going to read the article, read the piece that was pushed out. And I before I say what I'm going to say next, I want to highlight, even our producer highlights fear.
Mm-hmm.
If you're this, then like, and it is in sales. There was a time, and I'm sure there still are people who train on this, but the is selling by FUD, and not Elmer Fudd, but fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt were used as tools to help kind of manipulate situation. When it comes to stuff like this, when it comes to technology, or it comes to anything, any emerging and enablement technology, which is what we're talking about here, any emerging tech that it can be used to enable business, enable humans, enable stuff to do better things. There are going to be the owners of the technology. There are going to be the builders of the technology. There are going to be the suppliers who make it so that the technology works. There are going to be the investors who help fund, and there are going to be consumers. And if you're always on the consumer side of things, it's kind of like this story, and I don't know what the numbers are, but the story of, hey, if I would have bought, instead of buying first iPhone, if I would have thrown that money into Apple stock, what would have happened, right? So in that instance, you're investing. And sometimes what you can do is you can be an investor and a consumer. You go in there and you find the things that you really like to consume and figure out a way to invest in them. So let's say you buy the new iPhone for $1,000. You find $1,000 that you throw into Apple at the same time, and you do both of them. They don't have to be mutually exclusive, but too often, and we deal in absolutes. Too often we deal in absolutes. Everything has to be black and white, and there's just start to think about, okay, well, where do I fit into this thing? How can I do this thing? So the reason I did what I did with it, in the Slack channel, I'll post my notes. The reason I did what I did is more to help them see the questions that I think we can raise related to the pieces of information that were shared in that. It's one of the reasons why I can't stand a lot of the shit that's on LinkedIn. Is a lot of times people will post about whatever the story is that they did, like, ooh, I sat down with the CFO of the CFO and the CEO sat down, and we're talking about not wanting to spend money on training, because if I spend money on training, what happens if I train my people and they leave? And then the other person comes back and says, what happens if we don't train them and they stay? Ooh, like, how many times those things come up? But like,
everybody new to the industry that runs across that particular anecdote always shares it and feels like they're the first ones to have heard it and told the world.
So take all of those things all of this experience that you've had, and realize that over the past number of years, you have been conditioned, leaning on Skinner, to not think critically.
Mm-hmm.
You've been conditioned to react. Okay.
Well, it's not just thinking critically. Is what you have to think about. Well, thinking critically is part of it, right? Sure. Go back to history, realize, hey, we've been here before. New innovations and new technology have come around before. How did people react and what happened? And are we just falling for the same thing? So that would be the critical side of it. The other side, that a massive portion of the population does not have the capacity to do, is to think creatively about what are the possibilities and what could possibly come next, and be excited about that, or at the very least be excited about the unknown, just not knowing. Like, don't try to make up bullshit. Like, I know for sure exactly this is what's coming next, and this is what you should all be doing. L&D should, L&D must, and everybody's so damn convinced that they've come up with the thing that we should be doing to be better at what we should do as an industry, and we don't have a clue. Nobody has a clue. Nobody has any idea. And that's the fun part, actually, is that we get to think creatively. But most people, I think that this is where the fear overrides the ability to think critically and think creatively about, okay, what can I do next? What can I do next? What can I apply the skills that I have, and how can I deal with it? I think
there was another.
I think in general, I know we as an industry, or people that currently do the work in our industry, will find other things to do, but I'm fairly convinced that what we do won't need to be done at scale anymore.
Yeah.
AI takes, and people will not want to hear this, and people won't believe me. And the people that say instructional designers will always be needed because somebody always has to. And that was me too for a little while. And I'm at the point now where I'm like, I see what AI is doing, and I know how owner and operators think, which is something that I think 99% of our industry doesn't have the experience or doesn't know the people who run $10 million, $20 million small businesses, and which by standards, most people don't even think that's a small business. Most people think those people are rich. That's a small business by today's standards. And those people do not want human resource headaches. They do not want you. They don't want to be training their people. They want to hire somebody that already knows how to do the thing they need done, and they need the work done. And that is as simple as it is. And that's what it will be. It's what it has been throughout the dawn of time. We became important and elevated because of the government and laws and compliance and legislation, period. Where's Craig? I need him bitching at me right now.
What would Craig be bitching at you about?
Well, I need somebody to counter that moronic statement I just rattled off.
It's not, here's the we need to and the should pieces are pieces of language that are driven heavily by an individual's perspective. That's fine. Cool. Here's what you can do about it. Find the people who are excited and ride with them up until the point that you get excited. If you're not excited, if you are excited, find people who get excited about the same, are excited about the same kind of things, and work together to ride together there. And if you really want to just kind of ground yourself here, ask this question. What are some of the things that some old dude named Socrates used to talk about? And if you need to, go back to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, but like go back in time and say, what are some of the things that have always persisted?
And we didn't drink to Socrates, by the way.
Socrates. I'm limited. I've had to ration my coffee today.
You got the tiny cup.
I
Totally blew your train of thought. Sorry.
But I mean, think about it. So go through and say, okay, all right, what's an example of where we've done this before? What still persists? We are adaptable. We're built to survive. We're built to solve problems and challenges. And for every leader that's out there who wants to make sure that bring in all of the best people to take care of all of the things, there are also some who want to build for the future and want to build out the next capability of those things. And that's the challenge with trying to manufacture fit. If you find that the place that you're at doesn't align with the things that you're interested in doing, don't try to change the place that you're at. Like inside that organization, change the place they're at. Go find the right place while you're still doing the thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've been here before. We've done this. It starts with questions. And if you learn a heck of a lot more when you ask questions and when you're like, this is what I think. Okay. So hold on. Depends on the mood that I'm in. Am I in the, I'm just going to have fun and fuck around and ask some questions to find out if that's what you really think? Or am I like, okay. It all depends. It depends on how much time I've got. So
it is. I think the fun thing about being able to talk through these things as opposed to just reading all the chaos online is, I think we all have kind of that split personality, because we're all just human. Everybody reacts to the fear mongering stuff, but we should also have that other half of us that counters and balances it with, yes, but what if the opportunities that are out there? It's fun to see Craig and Wendy's comments in the Slack, by the way.
I think Craig's just said that. I think this was some coaching up on you. He said, maybe you need a little bit more focus, but you're pretty good.
No, he didn't say me. He didn't say. He inferred that the statement needs a little bit more focus. Not
Oh,
me.
I thought that was you.
Well, he could have meant me too. Okay, sure. Yeah, but no, he's right. That was that monologue was just a little bit off the cuff and could probably be could be polished a bit, shortened up, tightened up, into a followable statement. But Wendy mentions getting legal teams to agree certain businesses will still need instructional designers. But I would even argue that, Wendy, the law firms are using AI like crazy, and it's doing a really, really good job, according to legit experienced lawyers that are doing that are using it and using the work, and that are seeing very, very, very positive insights. I don't see I don't see AI not being able to do the work that we do. Knowing what we do, having done it for 25 years, there isn't any piece of it that won't be able to be created by AI and do it way better. Way better.
That's the.
So,
Did
anyway.
you see? Where did I see it? I forget. And I know we got to get back to the news, but there was somebody will find it and drop it in the Slack channel. But Elon was talking about the AIs training each other, and it just there was a small piece in it that I don't know that a lot of people caught on, but for those of us who've been in this space, you would absolutely catch onto it because everybody talks about it in this context. And it was the importance of creating space for the AI to play, to test. So, and the learning that happens is a function of that playing. Where do you get to play and test? So play and iterate. What was it? The thing that Kevin Thorne and a couple of other people did was, you've done it. Was it step away and play? Was that the thing? So there are these things that you can say, hey, what do I know about instructional design and creating opportunity that I might be able to apply in this context to help somebody do something a little bit better, whatever that thing is. So start thinking about how you, we always talk about how skill transfer or reskilling folks. Look in the mirror later today and say, what skills can I transfer and how do I need to reskill myself? If you're not comfortable looking in the mirror and asking those two questions, find another morning show to listen to, because you're going to hear more and more of that kind of crap from me. It's not crap though; it works. Like it's amazing. We laugh about it because it works. We laugh about it because it works, but it's hard. It's still hard because you want it to be your way. You want it to be the way that you're comfortable. You want it to be that way.
People don't understand to add to that.
Yeah.
I think people don't understand when people say, listen, this is not a linear growth curve. This is an exponential growth curve. I think just a lot of people have a hard time visualizing what the term exponential means. But if you just think of it as every single leap that the technology takes in improvement is to try to oversimplify it for people, is a lot bigger than the one previously to it. So if you jumped this much in the last innovative improvement, the next jump will actually be this much, and so on and so on. And the leap itself, not the total, but the actual leap, gets continually bigger and bigger and bigger and more impressive. And the part that interested me the most in that article, and then I'll move on to the news, was the point that this particular guy that wrote it, that he's a coder, that he was waiting for, was that moment. And all of the researchers and all the developers around AI were waiting for that one moment where AI starts building itself.
Yep.
And we hit that. All of the latest generations of all the different platforms have now hit that mark where they are like, Grok, 5.7 was created by Grok 5.6 and so on and so on and so on and so on. And then it will create 20 of those. Those 20 will work together to create the next 40. Those 40 will all work together to create the next 80, and so on and so on and so on. And so the leaps are going to get significantly bigger and better. So, Wendy, I'll just pick on you and the whole legal thing. Any problem or concern that we currently have that we're holding on to, like this, well, it'll never be able to do this. It just wait 3 months and it will. Well, okay, fine. But now it's not going to be able to do this. I can still hold on to this one thing. Wait another month and a half. And now it's going to be able to do it. So that's where the fear part comes in. But it's also the exciting part because I'm just excited to just watch and see what happens.
I'm excited to use it. Like just test.
I know, isn't it fun?
Dude, it is so cool. Like I am that was part of the conversation that I had yesterday with I'm built for this.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean,
it's in it, and that's the thing. Like you can find people who are like there are others.
yeah.
There are others.
Yeah. Sorry, Wendy's right. Let me interrupt you, Mike, real quick. The conversation Wendy and I were having in the Slack, she was talking about, will the business allow it? And I do think that in certain businesses like law firms, there will be those who always lag behind. And those are the people who are scared and the fear overrides everything and they won't allow it. You're absolutely right. And this is what slows everything down. And so, think of how many companies freaked out about the internet when the internet first came around. I very distinctly remember watching the news one night when the internet sort of first came around and when commerce first started happening on the internet. And I remember a reporter interviewing the CEO of Marriott Hotels, and or maybe it was the IT director or something. And she very distinctly said, there is no way that we could run our business and do transactions over this internet thing. It'll never happen. And I remember thinking to myself, really?
Sell my Marriott stock or whatever. But like that.
Now you just kind of open up their app and go, hey, book me a room.
So we landed yesterday and I didn't have the alert for the rental car. I for whatever reason I had in my head that I had already booked it, didn't book it.
Oh, I've done that.
Easy enough to go. And just simple enough inside the app, booked, done, over at Hertz, and good to go. Like it just there's the amount of one of the coolest things that's happening now is if you're willing to do it, you can find meaningful work. If you're willing to go out and do it, like everything is accessible. It's not this, I have to be in this area to do that.
Well, we're going to be talking a lot more about that very soon, I think, because lots of people will start to hit that realization. I know I have.
Well, let's get back to the news, and we'll go on this, and give us some feedback. Like, if you like this kind of banter and ranting back and forth and conversation about like what we're excited or not, where things are, we can do more of that, or we can, like some people like to do, follow the script and listen to our producer and have our.
Or if you're just sitting there going, when are they going to get back to the news?
The rails, like Brent when he was watching the news, was that the 5 o'clock news, the 6 o'clock news, or the 10 o'clock news? Because if you weren't there for that, I guess you could record it and then go play it back at some point.
Oh, and trust me, they're all the same.
But so one more thing, just on these curve things. So on that whole exponential, think of a hockey stick, right? Like what happens? Everybody talked about hockey stick growth and whatever. So think of a hockey stick. Think of visualizations of things like compounding interest. So hockey stick, and then also take a look at some S curves. What happens? Hype cycles. How have those kind of things moved along? And then say, hey, where are we on this thing? And a lot of times your perspective of where you are, like you are here kind of thing, is going to be a little bit different depending on the access of information you have. But at least you have a perspective based on evaluating it against what you're looking at, rather than saying, well, some old dude with a reversed image in his background is talking about all of these things, and I got to listen to him. You don't want to listen to him.
Was I supposed to fix that yesterday?
You were supposed to fix that yesterday. Don't worry.
Forget about it. We're going back to the news.
What'll end up happening is I'll just go into Nano Banana and I'll fix it and send it over to you. And then you get to post it. And everything will be good, because I think Craig and I are the only ones who worry about that kind of stuff.
I've gotten used to seeing everything backwards, but knowing it gets flipped in the stream. But I guess Restream isn't that smart. It's supposed to do it for me, but oh well. Anyways, moving to the lab, science is buzzing. Get it? Buzzing. Researchers at Virginia Tech just discovered the balance between two neurotransmitters, octopamine and tyramine, can predict how fast honeybees learn new information. You might be asking yourself, why do we care, right, Mike?
Oh, why do we care?
Because humans share these same ancient brain chemicals. Scientists are using this to understand why some people in your mandatory Excel training get it in 5 minutes, while others are still trying to find the any key. This is the future of precision learning. We are moving toward a world where we might eventually prime the brain for high-intensity training sessions. For now, it's a reminder that one-size-fits-all training ignores the literal chemistry of our learners' brains. So let's apply this particular story to what we've been talking about. Where's the opportunity here? What is it that we can get excited about and be like, hey, this is bitchin'?
Yep.
I thought you would have something really super cool, like a really great, product idea or company idea based on all of that amazing research.
Yeah, I am not cool. Just ask my kids.
It's just like, yep, good story, Brent.
Okay, so back into my pea brain, that kind of went around, but I joke about which I think is what was the word that you guys? Yeah, that was a loud noise. What happened? Somebody get attacked?
Oh no, Linda just went out to the garage. My microphone is super sensitive right now, so it's picking up everything.
What was the? If I came up with something too smart, I might be called a Luddite. But when you started talking about the bee and the busy as a bee kind of thing, I thought, you know what? At what point do we start to say that our attention spans are like bees rather than goldfish?
Bingo! I was hoping you would pull that off. That was my very first thought when I first read that story. My first thought was, boy, here comes all the LinkedIn articles about we got memories like bees. Who's going to write a book on how do we create our training like we're creating it for bees?
You got to drop the two processes or the two things, whatever it was, the neurosynapses, whatever, into the Slack channel, and we'll have a little bit of fun with that.
Oh, yeah. Here it's in the Virginia Tech News.
All right.
I'll drop it in. Thank you, Wendy. I'm glad you appreciate the energy today. I'm feeling good today. It's a good day. I woke up at 4:30 this morning instead of 5, and I was pretty fired up. And so I didn't even go back to sleep. Well, yeah, I did. I hit the snooze alarm, which I felt guilty about because I really wanted to get up and rally.
And thank you, Craig, for bringing us back down.
Yes, no, I'm very not focused today. This is true. This is why the script is good, because every time I get us off the rails, we pull back to the news and it's right there. We don't have to make stuff up on the fly. So it's good. But I like the B story. So we're going to hang on to that, ponder that a little bit, and hopefully Gemini will bring it back. I love the callbacks. It's good stuff. So in our fourth story today, this is our industry news segment, the 2026 State of L&D in Financial Services. Did you know that there is, not only are we specialized in pharmaceuticals, but there is a very unique specialized segment of our industry that is just focused on financial services. And they've got a report, and it's out, and it's a wake-up call. 75% of institutions now list compliance as their top business goal, up from 61% last year. L&D is no longer the back office party planners. They are now the risk mitigation department. The report
when has L&D ever planned a party? Isn't that an HR thing? So I guess if your L&D team reports up into HR, you might be a party planner.
Well, so here's the deal. So I'm actually putting together a webinar for eLearning Brothers, and it's a historical perspective, which is super fun, going through and building, having a good time doing that. But that's what we used to be. 60% of L&D budgets used to just be travel. We were basically travel back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, probably into the 80s. We were basically the travel department. We were booking hotels. We were getting sales teams from one location to another location in a big giant conference room. We were trying to schedule, the overhead projector into each one of the conference rooms, making sure the instructors showed up at the right time and flying them there and booking their hotel and booking, their flights and all that kind of stuff. We were over glorified party planners.
So that's why the LMS had to have all of the things in there about make sure that we had enough overhead projectors to get from in one room and didn't run out of chairs and all that other kind of stuff. There we go.
There is a reason why the things that we do today have been formed from the legacy of our past. And if you don't understand why we're here today, you will always be scratching your head, and you won't feel like you're part of the party. So hang out with me and I'll teach you about all that stuff. The report also shows a massive shift in metrics. Completion scores are out and manager ratings of skill growth are in. If you're in finance, your job is now to prove ROI or GTFO. Anyone?
I think it's kind of nice that our producer has also embraced the fact that we drop F-bombs every once in a while.
I thought that's what it was, but I thought maybe there's a term that's related to ROI that I'm not familiar with.
GTFO.
That's the acronym for the day. Boards are demanding proof that training reduces regulatory risk, not just that 100% of employees watched a video while eating a sandwich. Oh, I'll tell you about that later, Wendy. Online course learning. This 2026 State of L&D in Financial Services is, I'm going to drop that in the chat. And thank you for explaining the GTFO to me, Craig. I appreciate that.
But you do lose points for just saying F.
Well, yeah. He's much more mature than we are, Mike. Okay, so give him some brownie points.
He absolutely is, and we need him.
Yeah. Well, I dropped the F-bomb a little early in the show today, so gloves are off.
I didn't even notice it. I didn't even notice it, and then when I was looking at the Slack, I was like, "Huh." broke the seal, and
You're just numb to it.
I'm numb to it. I don't even hear it. It's all, but it's just standard language.
Yeah. The HR1 AI Summit is kicking off today. In case anybody's wondering, I'm wondering if it's online or if we can see any of it, because that sounds interesting. I didn't even know there was an HR1 AI Summit. Keynote speaker Peter Hinson says we are officially in the never normal. He argues that HR and L&D leaders who wait for the dust to settle before adopting AI are essentially waiting for their own retirement party. He says the cost of doing has gone to zero, but the cost of waiting is catastrophic. This is about AI accountability. It's not about the tool. It's about who owns the decision the tool makes. If your AI curated learning path accidentally trains your sales team to be unethically aggressive, that's on you, not the algorithm.
What happens if you intentionally choose to bring someone in to train your sales team to be aggressive?
Yeah, nobody's ever said don't do that when it's productive.
And it drives me absolutely nuts because they're still out there. And it happens over and over again. Somebody's going to stumble across them again and just get repositioned. But yeah, that's not an AI thing. That's a people thing. And it gets back to the result thing that Brent was talking about, and the lack of experience that leads people to believe that that's the way. Anyhow,
it's old. It's old school. It's I think the race right now is, in my mind, to kind of circle us back to the earlier ranting, is how do you make as much money as you can during this transition, knowing that everything's going away because of AI. And when I say everything, I mean, well, everything. Okay, sure. And we're not too sure what's next. What do we do during the transition? Because I think the transitional phase is actually the most exciting part. Once you kind of let go of the fear, it's like free falling. Once you're out of the plane, it's like, well, no sense turning back now. Yeah, we're on our way to the ground, so might as well just enjoy the ride.
I think the and I have a tool around this. I know, surprise, but a tool that I use to help people figure out how to do what you're made for is it's a 2x2. It's energy versus impact. And on one side, I don't have the whiteboard today, but it's one side. What are some of the things that suck the life out of me that I do, and what are some of the things that I do that build me up and give me energy? And if you just plot those out, like just think of your day, suck the life out of you, build me up, like participating in this at 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern, 5 o'clock in the morning Pacific, Monday through Thursday, is a build up. Why? Because you've got two people who just happen to say what's on their mind about these kind of things. And some of those things are going to resonate with you. And some of them you're going to be like, I cannot believe that person just said what they said. And then the other one is, wow, I can't believe they said what they just said. And it's going to be both. It's going to be both of those as you go through. But this whole energy thing. So on your x-axis, put a negative and a positive, and just plot out, like write down the things you're doing each day. For me, meetings suck the life out of me. I hate meetings, especially meetings where we're talking about the same thing that we talked about at the same time last year, because we go through these cycles. Like it just, anyway, so figure out your minus and your plus on the impact, on the energy side. And then on the y-axis, throw up impact. And of those things, move them up or down the y-axis on whether or not they're high impact items, low impact items. High impact meaning, do they create change? So think about when I impacted this, like it changes the direction of my fist. It stops it from keeping that forward momentum. So what kind of impact is this thing that you're having? When you find the things that are high energy and high impact, there's your opportunity to go make money, because you're having an impact on others, ideally. You're making change happen. It's giving energy. Someone will pay you to do that thing. And the cool thing about the tech and how it's evolving is you'll be able to find more ways to go out and do the thing, or realize that your perspective of impact is flawed.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks.
I would argue,
Uh-oh.
or at least have a counter to that, that in some instances, the part that sucks the life out of you is where you can make the most money.
Okay. So let's work through it. So the thing that sucks the life out of you, imagine if you're doing something that every time, like you're the beginning of Joe versus the volcano, and you've got those fluorescent lights on top of you, like they're just cooking you in this office environment. How long do you continue to do the suck the life out of you type stuff before you just shrivel up and you're done? How many people have you ever worked with who, when they retired from work, they died? You ever work with anybody who just like?
Well, this is totally different. Like there's the work you're doing. I'm saying, and to make money, to find the niche. Remember when I talked about the other day? There's the really fun, cool shit that you do because you're smart at this one niche thing and you enjoy functioning at this level and hanging out with other people that function at that level. And then there's where the rest of the world is and where you can make money, and it's down here. This sucks the life out of you. This gives you energy. This makes you money. This just gives you an opportunity to be the best at this, so that the people down here know that you're the best to teach them the basics down here.
Got it. Okay. So
that's kind of the way I've sort
perfect.
of am visualizing your box.
Yeah. So we'll have to go through that because I could use a little bit of help around on that side, as we've kind of talked about before. There's one of the other things you can look at, though. Let's say that it's one of those Joe versus the volcano kind of things where you're like, God, look, I know I hate doing this, but I can make money doing it. Here's the thing: you find somebody who loves doing that thing, and you partner up with them, and you just take a couple of points. And now they're doing the work that gives them energy. Like imagine how much energy you can give the little AI bot when the AI bot takes care of stuff, and then you positively reinforce it afterwards. You're like, nice work, little AI bot. Good job. Go out there and do more. Do more. Thank you, ChatGPT or whatever.
Okay, so Craig's pushing back on me. I know we're running out of time, but I love it. I'm glad to get to push back. He says, if you push your real talents to be the best, you will find the place to make good money, and it takes commitment. And I would say, yes. I'm not arguing that point at all either, but I think you'll also find that you will find that people who are really, 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 really good at something, at some point find themselves doing a part or a piece of what it is that they do just because somebody's paying them to do it. And that just because Craig's a guitar player and this anecdote always comes into my head. And I've heard this from other guitar players, but I read an article from Joe Satriani, amazing, amazing, amazing guitar player. For those of you who aren't familiar with his work, Surfing with the Alien, all that good stuff. I remember him saying in an article, he was hired to come in after he made that album. Everybody wanted him to do studio work and come in and record, and for all sorts of things, like commercials, for all sorts of stuff. And every single one of them he would say, so what do you want? What are you looking for? And they'd be like, do that surfing thing. And he's like, everybody just, it wants that. Or the band guitarist that has started off his career in metal, but became so enamored with his instrument and with all of the different variations and the things that he could do, he put together a jazz trio. And now he does very fusion style jazz with a bass player and a drummer. And that's awesome, by the way. But everybody still wants him to go be the heavy metal guitar player and be that guy. And he's kind of moved on and wants to do the jazz. So I think you're right. I think once you get to that point, but you will always be drawn back down to that common denominator, that thing that it's like we train. Somebody mentioned it the other day in the chat. We train to the least common denominator. You train a room full of people, you're always training to the dumbest person in the room.
Well, and the market will prevail. Like that's one of the cool things about capitalism, right? Like the market will you got to take the data points. You can't operate this in a vacuum unless you happen to be a trust fund baby and you've just got or you won the lottery or whatever. Like there's going to be decisions you're going to have to make throughout the process. So know what the decision is and then know how you're going to make it. So what decision, then criteria, how. So
everybody has constraints.
Everybody does. I mean, think about to go Satriani, Linus and Lucy. Which version of Jingle Bells did?
He didn't do Linus and Lucy. It was his bass player Stu Ham.
Oh, he didn't do Linus and Lucy?
His bass player did Linus and Lucy.
No shit. I had no idea. There you go. Well, all right. So we can wrap up the show. I learned something. Thank you. It only took us 56 minutes and 38 seconds to get there. I had no idea. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, we should wrap up because we went over last.
I know. So we don't want to do that again. But here's how we'll wrap things up before we go into where we find everybody. I will read the wrap up thing and then we go into the wrap up. How about that?
Do it.
That's the brief for today. Now get out there and build something that doesn't bore your learners to tears. I'm off to see if I can trade my neurotransmitters for some coffee. See you tomorrow.
Cool. There we go. We got the neurotransmitters.
It didn't say anything about the bees, though.
I would have liked a little bit of a bee throwback. I mean, the bees were neurotransmitting, so it's there. That's
neurobuzzmitters.
They're neurobuzzmitters. There we go. Cool.
Hey, and I'm hanging out. I'm trying to make us go long enough so Craig can drop in our links, and he nailed it.
Okay, remember we've got a couple of different things. We've got number one, we won't be here tomorrow. We do this Monday through Thursday at 6 o'clock in the morning for Brent and I in the Mountain Time Zone, and you all for wherever you are right now. And next week we're going to run our first hackathon, which is the image that Brent has in the background. So just like flip yourself around and maybe or hold your computer up in front of a mirror and you might be able to read it.
The funny thing, my little camera monitoring thing doesn't allow me to flip the camera.
Yeah, I'll send you something. The hackathon is next week. It's gonna be awesome. Wednesday, and check us out on LinkedIn. I know that Craig dropped the links in here, and you'll be able to see the information about the hackathon. If you know somebody who's interested in participating, share with them. We are still looking for a couple of contestants who are willing to step away and play out loud, have a bit of fun, because this process is going to help you start to think a little bit different about how you can use some of these tools and get creative around how we move forward. Brent, we'll see you on Monday.
You will see me on Monday for sure.
All right.
Find us all on those links down there.
And then Craig, as Craig said, you could just use the link that he has posted. So Craig, thanks for keeping that.
Thanks for doing that. Hey, Mike, where can people find their catalyst?
You can find your catalyst at findmycatalyst.com. And where do you want people to find you?
Hit me up on LinkedIn and I will follow you back, and then send me a DM and tell me why you're interested in chat.
Now we're going to do an awkward pause, stare into each other's eyes while I hit end stream and wait until the end stream catches up. See you, Brian.